morning. How are you doing? This is Table Talks. I'm here, your host, Tino Hove, and I've got Nate with me. How are you doing, Nate?
I'm great, Tino. Thanks for having me on the show.
Amazing. Yeah, we're here to have a little chat about fitness. That's something Nate here is very passionate about. So, Nate, why don't you give us a little rundown about yourself, how you got into fitness, and your thoughts on it?
A little bit about myself. I'm a international student from Zimbabwe. And I used to play rugby growing up, and I stopped playing rugby when I came to university. And I always worked out as I was playing rugby, just training, strength training, resistance training. And then I got to university. I was like, okay, so I want to stay active, right?
Yeah.
So I started training, so weightlifting, and I didn't know much about it. And then
just lifting, yeah, just lift heavy, just
lifting, and then just conversations with people in the gym. You know, you get to learn more about it, and then you actually realize that it's actually a sport on its own. You know, and so throughout that process, I ended up realizing that there's actually more to it, and actually skills that you actually have to attain, that you can apply to your own
So it's
life.
Not just lifting heavy. It's not just lifting heavy.
It's not just lifting heavy or looking good.
All right. All right. Got to clarify.
Yeah, exactly. So since then, I've actually taken it a little bit further now. Beyond weightlifting, started doing shows for men's physiques. That's more like bodybuilding, right, type of shows. And through that, it's really taught me a lot of lessons, you know, like being able to manage your time, you know, because you're not just weightlifting. You have school, you have work, you have all these other things. And also the discipline, the willpower, you know, like people talking about diet, you know, doing your prep, and all those things. And the benefits have been amazing, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, it's also some sort of like therapy, you know.
Yeah.
So it's really amazing. I love it. Yeah.
And what do you think is the reason that people should get into fitness? I mean, it's hard work, man. Like, you know, going out there, lifting, running, you know, hyperventilating. Like, why would anyone in their right mind who want to come and have that happen to them voluntarily?
So that's a great question you ask. You know, even I ask myself the same question. I'm like, why do I do this? You know, like sometimes you wake up, you're feeling sore, and you're like, why did I do this myself?
Leg day, 3 days later, you're still in pain. You're still in pain 3 days later.
You can't climb down the stairs. It's like it's really hard, right? So a lot of the things for me, I find it's like therapy, right? Like what I was saying. There's also this mind-body connection that you find from weightlifting or just working out, doing any physical activity, right?
Yeah.
So in the sense of the therapy, when you're doing physical activity, your body is elevated to a state where you're more calm and reflective. So that really helps you to reflect on vital things going on in your life. You know, like maybe setbacks or any stress that you might be having. And you're able to actually see the weight of every situation, and you're able to actually make a plan at that moment. You know, I'm sure scientifically there's an explanation to it.
Science has an explanation for everything.
I know. So those are some of the benefits I really say I appreciate, you know, going through weight training. So because there's a lot of pressures, you know, that you find from the day to day, and
And recently you've gone into fitness training yourself, or making diet plans, and that sort of thing. How's that going? Like, how does it feel to tell someone that they should stop eating pizza every night? How do you handle the grumpy donut teacher who's like, no.
So, like you said, NATO 8 Fitness, that's a new movement I've started right now. Just try to inspire people and share my knowledge, share the benefits of weight training. So a lot to do with it is diet, as you might have guessed already. It's really tough, you know, telling someone, hey, like, you have to cut out this, you have to cut out that. So because I do a lot of reading as well, right? Just to read more on fitness, like habits, why people do what they do, right?
Yeah.
So what it comes down to, it's like we're humans, and you need to understand and be empathetic with people that are trying to cut off a habit.
Yeah.
You don't just clip it off. It's like, okay, switch, up and down switch, There's a lot to it. So it's a matter of just, making sure that these people understand. That's probably the most important part. People to know why they should be doing whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
So just taking through
the motivations for it, right?
Motivation as well. Everything is important, right? And then with time, once they get committed, right, they understand, they're better committed to the goals, right? So, yeah.
And to someone who's like, I have no interest in this whole running thing, in this weightlifting thing, right? Like, what would you say? What would you say fitness's place is in people's lives today? Like, what role do you think it plays? What do you think the consequences of lack of fitness is, or the benefits of pro fitness is, or someone who's just like, you know what, I've lived my whole life doing this one thing, why should I change? I'm 30, I'm 35, I'm 25, I'm 20, never stepped into a gym my whole life, still fine, right?
Yeah.
Like, how would you promote that? What would you say to that?
Well, the thing is that not everybody has to do weight training.
Okay.
So the idea is just being physically active.
Okay.
That's the idea, right? So if you run marathons, you cycle, you play karate, you play soccer, you play hockey, football, keep doing that.
Yeah.
You see, you're still going to rip a lot of the same benefits as well, right?
Yeah.
For me, like weight training, it's really controlled. I feel like there's less risk to injury.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of like in control of the weight, right?
Yeah.
That you're lifting, and then
until you try lift 3 plates.
Yeah.
Until
the ego kicks in, and you're like, okay, let me try this. I probably could do this, right? So that's when you can assess the risk. So I'd say the place fitness has is very important in our society today, because like pressures keep piling up, work, trying to meet up with schedules, so many things going on, so many distractions, like from the day to day, right? So another point that I'll bring out is that for someone to be able to probably do their best work, right, in terms of like whatever occupation that they are in, are they a student, whatever it is, at times it's important for us to sit back for a bit. If, say, you haven't been like training or doing any activity, just sit back, okay, and take care of yourself first. So if some people say, hey, I have a busy schedule, I can't go to the gym, I can't do this, I would recommend like step back, start working out first. When you work out first and take care of yourself first, you're going to be at your best capacity to tackle anything. All right. So it's kind of like almost like a paradox where you can achieve so much more by doing nothing, right? So you just don't do anything, right? And then take the time to reflect back on like what you want for your life, on yourself, your health, your fitness, and then come back at it and then just start doing your best work, right? Yeah. Because you really have a clear direction of where you want to go. So that's where I see fitness fitting into people's lives, in a bigger picture. Yeah. So.
And you chose the song "Nothing Can Stop Me" to introduce this show and this talk.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I think that's very interesting, because a lot of times people have obstacles they put in their way, or obstacles they see as to why they can't be physically active. Like you said, like busy schedules. Yeah. Like there are people who are like, okay, I want to get in better shape, all right? I want to get in better shape. I want to start working out. I want to join a sports club. I want to join a sports team, right? But there's all these other things in my way that stop me from doing it, right? So my question to you, Nate, is like, in today's hectic world where there's so much going on, right? How would you advise someone who wants to get into fitness, who wants to improve on that, but is having difficulty finding time for it?
Okay, so it's a very simple question, and there's a simple answer to it.
Okay.
two parts to it, actually.
Yeah.
So one, I'd say be realistic.
Okay.
Be realistic. Because all the things that you mentioned there, you left out personal time, you left out, family time.
Yeah.
Already, those are parts that are important to your life, right? So you want to be realistic, and in being realistic, write down a list, priority, right? You take down priority. Okay, your health. Where does your health stand, right? you need to survive, right?
Yeah.
So you need to eat, you need to work out, make sure that your health is good.
Yeah.
Because if your health is bad, you're not going to be able to have those relationships that you want, because you can't spend time with people, right? And from there, you think about it like your finances, right? You got to work, right? So there's certain things. That's when you talk about hobbies. Hobbies not necessarily going to bring you income, or they're going to make you healthy. Depends, unless it's like weight training for me. Right? It's like, okay, that's my hobby, right? But at the end of the day, you still have to be realistic with yourself and set the priorities right? And in any case, health and fitness is like number one, in my opinion. It's like, you got to take care of yourself first. You got to be healthy for you to be able to do everything else. Right? It's that foundational priority that you just got to really, make sure that it's in your schedule. And then work everything around yourself.
You spoke a bit about that mind-body connection. Could you want to explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so with the mind-body connection, you find yourself when you're doing weight training or any physical activity, your body is connected more to your mind because you're in this reflective state. And you're able to connect with yourself, and reflect on what's really going on in your life, right? So there's certain things that you find with weight training, right? It helps you release stress as well. I'm sure you've seen a lot of memes about weight training being therapy, right? So the mind-body connection as well applies to someone who's also looking to build their own body, right? So when you're doing certain exercises, it's actually, focusing on that muscle that you're looking at, right? So that actually helps you gain more muscle because you're really conscious, you're present in that moment, right? Nothing is distracting you. It's just the gym. You're just focusing on the weight. You don't go to the gym to talk to people.
You don't? What? I think I've been working out wrong my whole life. I've been doing it wrong my whole life.
I mean, at some point, like I'm actually guilty for that. Because you go to the gym so much, it becomes a family. It's like everybody that's in the gym, right? And it's like very social. So you tend to do that. But then there are times where you just gotta focus. It's just like your time alone, because you're outside, the real world where you're supposed to be at work, or you're not studying, so to say. So it's really important that you take that time and just focus on yourself. Just plug in your headphones and just think about where you are in life, what you want for your life. So there's that connection I find with the mind and your body. And from there you can actually, after like some workouts, actually walk out and like, oh, that thing was bothering me, or that person did something to me, and I had this frustration inside.
That dance, no,
I know, right?
Almost slipped and fell.
Yeah, exactly. And then after walking out, you're like, wow, actually, why was I freaking out? It's actually not a big deal, I just spent 2 hours not even thinking about it. Exactly, because it's just like some weight on your mind, right? It's like that worry. Because a lot of people, they tend to get stressed by things that they actually don't need to worry about. Things that really don't matter. They don't have any substance. But it's just weighing on their minds. So those are the benefits I find with weightlifting. I also dabble in some in some weightlifting myself, and I find that weightlifting also helps you see just how
how far you can go. That one last set, right? That one last rep, right?
There you go.
It helps you push yourself.
There you go.
Then you extend your limits, right? And I feel that's something that kind of carries over into your personal life, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a habit, right? It's a habit that you keep repeating, right? And it builds determination, right? Yeah, and since you started weight training, what difference have you seen in your life? And just give us a quick rundown on that. We've got about 10 minutes left here.
Okay, cool. So when I started weight training, I actually started when I was like 17. I found that the principles of weight training or just working out actually relates to real life. You know, you put in the work, you get the results.
Yeah, and
it's such a cool way that in weight training, the results, you can see them quicker than anything else I've done in my own life, to be honest.
Yeah.
So just being able to, you put your body under so much pressure, and you feed it, you create this environment by eating the good food for it to grow, right? Yeah. So it's like the same times happen, when you're in such a tough position and you're faced with different challenges. It's a matter of just looking at it in a positive light that, hey, you know what? I might be going through this, but you know what? I'm going to grow.
I'm okay.
This moment is going to allow me to grow.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be okay.
I'm going to be okay.
And the benefits are going to be amazing. One.
Yeah.
And, because I ran a business as well for 4 years. And it was really tough, starting up. Everything was tough. I had different challenges, and I stuck through it till the end. I saw it through till the end, and I was really happy about myself. Like the confidence that I had coming out of there was like amazing. And that's comes back to the theme song all the way up. Nothing can stop you.
Nothing can stop you, man. Nothing can stop you.
I've faced so many challenges.
Yeah,
I'm going all the way up. I'm not going to stop. Stop for who?
For who? For what? Why?
For what, right?
Why? What purpose?
Why should you do that, right?
Yeah.
So that's really it. So I'm really excited about it. So those things that have happened in my life have helped me realize that, hey, like, the principles of nature or the universe, you can see them firsthand from weight training.
Yeah.
And you can translate them into your own life, be it career, be it school. You don't study, you're not really going to do very well. You know what I mean? And the more you practice, studying, whatever it is, math, whatever.
Unless you're that one kid who never studies, but always gets an A. We all know that one kid.
Obviously, but hey, you know what? Things that you never know. Maybe when he goes home, he's studying. He's not sleeping. That guy is probably not sleeping, or he did the work prior, but he just didn't realize it. Right? And it seems like, okay, this guy knows, because you find that there's also the guys that they weight train for a couple of years and then they stop. So your muscles have memory, right?
Yeah.
And then you just see this guy in 3 months or 6 months, boom, blows up. You're like, man, like, what happened?
I've been here for 2 years.
And then you start getting accused, right? Say, hey, is this guy natural?
I'm not sure anymore.
I'm not sure, right?
Yeah.
But you see, because someone has done the work before, it's like, even if they stop, whatever, they still have that memory. Your muscles have that memory. It's just like the same as your mind, right? So it's very powerful, right? So if you can actually appreciate the whole process. For me, it's more about appreciating the whole process, more so than the looks or the other benefits that come along. It's just a package deal.
It's a package deal.
You get the looks, you enjoy the process, you reap all the benefits. Yeah, it's just so amazing, Yeah. So,
all right. Nate, thanks for coming through the show, and we appreciate all your talk about the mind-body connection, going through it, persevering. So we're going to wrap up here and, have a good day, man. Thanks for starting us off with a great morning. And remember, nothing can stop us.
Nothing can stop us. Thank you for having me, Tino.
All right.
Appreciate
great
it.
show, man. Great
awesome.
show.
Great.
All right.